This week on 380 Updates, we've got something you won't want to miss. We're switching it up this week and not starting at Legacy or Teal. Instead, we head west where history was made before bringing it all back to Navo. But the real headline will be Navo. We were there as the final beams of the entire project were lifted into place, 9 in a single night. And by the end of this video, you'll see exactly how crews pulled it off, what's next for the deck and barriers, and why this milestone changes the pace of the entire project. Buckle up, because this week's update has some of the most dramatic progress we've seen yet. We have new people joining us all the time. The 380 expansion through Denton is a $140 million makeover, turning the old 4-lane road with that dangerous, never-ending center turn lane into a 6-lane divided highway. Along the way, crews are building 5 brand new overpasses: Legacy, Teal, 423, Navo, and 720. Each one designed to keep traffic moving smoothly over those busy intersections. Add in continuous sidewalks and safer crossings, and by March 2026, this whole corridor will feel completely transformed. We're actually not starting at Legacy this week. Instead, we're heading a little farther west, not quite far enough to see tumbleweeds, but out here at Fishtrap, where a reconfiguration took place just a couple of weeks ago. The big change we're excited to see is the addition of fresh solid lane stripes. They're bold, clear, and really help guide traffic through the intersection. From a construction standpoint, that's a strong indicator this setup isn't going anywhere soon. They expect traffic to flow like this for a while. Now, it's important to point out, those fresh stripes aren't permanent. These are temporary lane markings laid down as part of Phase 3 work kicking off here at Fishtrap. Along with the striping, crews have also set jersey barriers on both sides of the median they're building. These barriers provide protection for workers and drivers alike, while clearly separating the work zone from live traffic. It's a sure sign that Phase 3 is officially underway, and we'll be seeing more changes out here as construction ramps up. Another key adjustment with this configuration is the new merge coming off of 377 southbound onto westbound 380. Drivers now have a direct tie-in to the highway. But here's the thing, the on-ramp is very short. If you're not used to this setup, please be extra careful when merging. Traffic here is already heavy, and with the construction zone in play, it's even more important to stay alert and give yourself plenty of space. The next intersection east is Naylor and 424, where crews are busy reconfiguring the intersection. Out of the 4 main lanes, 2 have already been poured with concrete. The other 2 are prepped with rebar, alternating to allow the screed machine to work more efficiently. By the time this update goes live, it's very possible those remaining lanes will be poured as well. In addition to paving, drainage work is still ongoing along the northeast corner. That piece is critical to tying the whole intersection together and ensuring the new lanes hold up long term. It's steady progress here at Naylor and 424, and the footprint of the new design is really starting to take shape. And lastly, since we like to celebrate the little things here on the channel, which often turn out to be major milestones, we've got a big one to share. The final driveway of the entire project has now been completed. It might not look as dramatic as a new overpass or a traffic switch, but driveways are a huge part of this corridor. In fact, more than 123 driveways were reconstructed throughout the 380 expansion. Each one ties homes, businesses, and neighborhoods back into the new roadway. So, while it may seem like a small detail, finishing that last driveway is one more sign that this project is steadily moving toward the finish line. Funny, but really not so funny if you were one of the drivers caught. Last week we talked about the Walmart Drive intersection and pointed out that the middle lane is not a legal left turn. Well, it didn't take long. Reports came in this week that Crossroads police were out there enforcing it. Just a reminder, if it's not marked with arrows or signage, it's not a turn lane. Save yourself a ticket and stick to the legal left. Next up is Main Street, or 2931 in Providence Village. There isn't a whole lot new to report at the 720 intersection this week, so we'll keep moving. On the west side of Main, the new lanes are complete. Crews added 3 lanes in total here, with curbs and drainage already in place. There is an existing sidewalk just off-site, so that piece ties in fairly cleanly. On the east side of the intersection, as well as heading north on Main, there's still some work left to finish. From what we can see, at least 2 of those lanes were likely poured this past week. But since we didn't make another trip out that way later in the week, we'll check back to confirm on the next update. We'll take a quick break to talk about our most favorite sponsor. Please visit signgypsies.com if you're planning a celebration. Whether it is a birthday, graduation, or any special event, they've got you covered with custom yard signs that will bring your occasion to life. With vibrant, personalized designs, Sign Gypsies delivers more than signs. They deliver joy. They handle everything from design to setup, so you can sit back and enjoy the fun. Visit signgypsies.com to book today and use promo code 380updates for a free upgrade on your next sign. Terms and conditions apply. Quick local note for our Paloma Creek neighbors. Lucky Donuts, right at the south entrance, has been hit hard by the road work and slow mornings. Some folks in the community are rallying to keep them going, even pledging to stop by once a week. If you've never tried them, the Little Elm Police Officers Association likes them. If you're nearby, consider swinging in one morning. It's a small stop that can make a big difference for a local family business. At the corner of US 380 and Ryan Spiritas Parkway, the new Batestown Crossing development is rising right next to the future Super Target. Confirmed tenants already include Costa Vida, Howdy Homemade Ice Cream, Verizon, Reformed Pilates, James Avery, VisionWorks, Grand Nail Salon, Paris Baguette, Breadwinners Cafe, ATI Physical Therapy, and Mo Betta's Hawaiian Barbecue, along with Chili's, Frostbank, and PNC Bank. There are still several spaces available for lease, so we'll be watching for more announcements as this project continues to fill in. Over at 380 and FM 2931 in Little Elm, the new Kroger is already taking shape. Utilities are going in up front, and the building layout is visible in the back. This 14-acre site will eventually anchor more retail along this stretch of 380, and we'll keep an eye on it as construction rises. One thing we forgot to mention back at Naylor, the Salad and Go at this corner is closing. It's part of a larger round of store closures as the company goes through a major liquidation. The Lake Bridge is coming along nicely and is moving into the next big phase, building the barrier walls along the outside edges. This machine here is a work-in slip-form paver designed specifically for barrier and curb work. It crawls forward along the bridge deck, pulling in stiff, low-slump concrete and extruding it through a mold to create a continuous barrier wall. Crews set the rebar cages in advance, and the machine slips right over them, leaving behind a smooth, uniform wall in its wake. The key is in the concrete mix. It has to be low slump, which means less water and a much stiffer consistency. That way, the fresh barrier holds its shape immediately without slumping or sagging, even at full height. It's a fascinating process. You've got precision equipment, the right mix design, and crews working hand in hand to shape a critical safety feature for this bridge. And while all that's happening, life goes on under the bridge. We even spotted a few people fishing as this work was underway. We're finishing with a bang this week at Navo, and there's a lot to cover. We were on site for the final beam installs of the entire 380 project, and it was an impressive night of work. Over the span of about 3 hours, 9 beams were set across the overpass. Beam number 1 kicked things off, lifted into the air, and swung from the south side over to the north. It's precision work that takes total coordination between crane operators and the ground crew. But this team is clearly dialed in and has the process down to a science. This following clip is sped up about 10 times so you can see the entire process unfold. Each beam starts out on one side of the crane setup, but the challenge is getting it into its final position on the opposite side. That means the operators have to carefully shimmy the beam around the cranes, inching it forward and sideways in a slow, controlled dance. Once the alignment is just right, the beam is eased into position over the bearing pads. From there, the crew slowly lowers it down, making sure it's seated perfectly. It's a delicate process. Precision and patience are key, and watching it come together really shows the level of skill involved. Pictured was beam 2 of 9. We actually grounded the drone for most of the night, so we weren't able to capture every angle of the lifts. Instead, we shifted over to the south side of the highway near the high school to get a closer view from the ground. This time-lapse shows beam number 3 out of 9 being set into place. Even sped up, you can see the precision it takes as the cranes work together to swing the beam across and carefully lower it into place. After each beam is installed, another critical step takes place. A crew member climbs up and welds rebar between the two beams. These welded connections help tie the beams together, keeping them aligned and locked in place, so they act as one structure. It's a small detail in the overall process, but it's essential for the stability of the bridge deck that will be poured on top. Eventually, it was time for the final beam. While crews took a moment to sign the last one, we grabbed another team member to help us mark the occasion. This was a major milestone for the entire project, and it definitely called for a celebration. For the full completion of the final beam, go check out our 380 Updates Facebook page. There's about an hour of raw video available there from the live stream, and even our real voice for narration. We were able to get a shot of the final beam in place with all that crew's signatures. Great to see, and well done to that team. Another fun part about that first confetti, it landed on top of the beam. So as it was lifted in place, confetti continued to fall from it as more celebration. So where does Navo stand right now? A quick flyover makes it clear just how much progress has taken shape in the past week. All the beams are now installed, and crews have already shifted focus to the next phase, setting the concrete decking. You can see deck panels being lowered carefully into place, piece by piece, forming the surface that will eventually carry traffic across the bridge. One detail that stands out is the rebar installation on the west ramp. The steel being placed here is green epoxy-coated rebar, which adds an extra layer of corrosion resistance. That protection is especially important in bridge decks and ramps, where exposure to moisture and road treatments can cause traditional rebar to deteriorate over time. The epoxy coating helps ensure the structure holds its strength for decades to come. At the same time, a large screed machine is being assembled nearby. Once in place, that screed will ride along rails across the deck, leveling and finishing the concrete to a smooth, uniform surface. It's a critical step in creating a durable driving surface that meets strict specifications. And if you look at the approaches, the earthen ramps on both the east and west sides of the overpass are now built up and essentially complete. These tie the bridge back into the roadway, giving you a sense of the final elevation and alignment. Taken together, the beams, the decking, the rebar, the screed machine, and the completed ramps, it's clear that Navo is moving into the home stretch of structural work. That's going to do it for this week's 380 update. From the Phase 3 changes out at Fishtrap, to paving and drainage progress at Naylor and 424, and even retail shifts like the Salad and Go closing, there's been plenty happening across the corridor. And of course, the big story, Navo, with the final beams in place, deck panels going down, and ramps tied in. We'll keep tracking every step as this project pushes forward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.